Hi, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 3rd, and I am going to go over our assignment for today. So, who is Walt Disney? So, yesterday we talked about Mr. Walt Disney. You read the article about him. You should have watched that little 3-minute video. So, now we're going to watch another video that goes more in depth to who he is and what his legacy is, okay? So we are going to cover our I-82, 8.2, and the difference between RL and RI is RL focuses on literature, RI focuses on informative text. Okay, so right here at the bottom in the square is your I can statement. I can determine a central idea of a text and analyze its development by identifying key details throughout. This is just like what you were doing with your vignette. Okay, so we're going to pick out important details, the 5 W's, and we are going to pick out the central theme from those clues. Okay? Let's see here. So here's the directions. This is everything you're going to be doing today. You're going to define some vocabulary words, and then you're going to watch 3 parts to a video. So the video is about 9.5 minutes, and so we divided it into 3 different sections. And for each section that you watch, you will highlight the quotes that you hear from that section. So you're going to have a bank of words. You're going to have a bank of quotes to pick from. And you're either going to highlight them or fill in the color or something like that to indicate that you heard those words during this section of the video. Okay, so this will help you practice your close hearing skills. Okay, so you know what close reading skills are. Well, now you get to practice listening very carefully. Okay, so you're going to indicate when you hear these quotes, and we told you how many quotes to look for each section. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do for that section is to write an objective summary. And you know what this is because you rocked it out yesterday. It's when you summarize something using only the facts, right? And make sure they're very important details. And then the third thing you're going to do for each section is complete a say, mean, matter chart for 2 quotes from each section. Okay, now there's an example for you down on slide 6 that you can refer to when you get to this part, the say, mean, matter. So again, before we hit number 3, you're going to define vocabulary words. There's 4 of them, so not very many. Then you're going to watch 3 sections of a video. For each section, you're going to pick out the quotes you hear, write an objective summary, and then complete a little see, mean, matter chart for 2 of the quotes. Okay, so the third thing you're going to do is think about, after watching all 3 parts of the video and considering the objective summaries that you wrote for each section, what do you think the central idea of the informative text is? Okay, so you need to write 3 to 4 sentences to explain why you chose that answer. If you just write 1 sentence, that's not cutting it, okay? Because we want to see your thought process. And you might find that when you're trying to explain why you chose an answer, you realize, oh my gosh, maybe it's not this answer. And when you look down, you see something that fits better because you stopped and you took the time to think about it, okay? So let's take a look. This is your vocabulary word section. Okay, so there's 4 vocabulary words for you to look up. Here's some pictures to represent them. Remember how you did that on one of our activities? You had to pick a picture that went with the quote. Well, anyway, so go ahead and go to dictionary.com. Whoops, I left off the M there, but go to dictionary.com, or you can go to Google to help you. And right here where it says define here, you will just, if this listens to me, Okay, I'll have to, well, okay, good. I was about to say, is this, okay, goodness. Okay, so anyway, you'll just click here and you can type, okay? So you can type in each little section here. I think my internet was just lagging there, okay? So this is where you write the definitions. So that's the first thing you do. It shouldn't take you but maybe 5 minutes. So the next part, in case the videos don't work for you down here, like the rest of them, because I chop this up to where it'll play from certain time points, okay, in the other slides. If those don't work for you, you can come back to this slide. I have the complete video here, all 9 minutes, so you'll have to watch the time and stop it when it gets to each, at the end of each segment, okay? So it's better to watch the other videos I posted. But if you can't watch any of these embedded videos for some reason, and embedded means when I actually stick it in the slide like this so you can watch it, then here's the link down here, and you can just go watch it on YouTube, okay? But it's better to watch the segments. Plus, if you watch the segments, the vocab words are on the same slide, okay? You'll see what I mean in a minute. So anyway, number 5 is just in case slide. Number 6 is the example of the say, mean, matter chart. So for the say part, and like I said, from each section, you're going to pull out 2 quotes. Okay, so when you get to that point, come back to this slide number 6 if you need an example of what to do. So you're going to put the quote in the first block. Now you put periods inside of quotation marks when you're writing a story or just quoting something in general, and it's not necessary to actually quote page numbers. When you quote page numbers, you'll be moving that period outside of the quotation marks, but you're not dealing with that today. So just kind of set them up like this model. So quotation marks, capitalize, quote, period, quotation marks. And you see right here, that's a mistake. So you want that to be lowercase, right? So I put this in here to show you that it's easy to make mistakes, right? But you need to look through and make sure that you have capitalized things and have periods in the right spot. You capitalize names. That's something I really want you all to work on. Get away from typing like you're texting. Get away from thinking things will auto cap for you. Okay, so focus on writing properly. Okay, so that's a big thing I want us all to focus on. Don't make mistakes like this. Be sure you don't have typos. Double check things, okay? So anyway, put your quotes down. Then you want to find a picture that represents the words, just like we had in the vocabulary slide and just like you've done before with that quote. Find an image that represents what that means. As you can see on this one, the warning sign, well, we found a warning sign. If you look down here, this quote says, hunger for expressing himself and finding out who he was. So we found a cute little picture here with a guy saying, who am I? Okay. So those two, I think, I like doing stuff like this. I think you might have fun with the pictures. Let yourself enjoy the assignment. With the matter part, this is where you're going to get into analyzing, okay? So think about the quote that you picked and explain why it matters. Okay, so what does it show about Walt? Who he is, his legacy. Explain and answer all these parts, okay? So you're going to explain what this shows about Mr. Disney. Like, how does it show his personality and his character? And how does it relate to his legacy? And you can read these examples here where it's talking about how Walt Disney was a strict boss and all this other stuff. And that's characterizing him, right? So all of these are going to be characterizing him, which is something that we've been working on a lot this week, characterization, Okay? So think about what exactly this says about him and what it says about his legacy and explain it. Okay? So look how hefty it is. I think this is like 3 sentences. Same here, maybe more. So be detailed, okay? Don't just have a couple words because that's not really doing much, okay? That's not analyzing. This is analyzing. When you look at something, you reflect upon it and think why it matters, and you can explain your reasoning, okay? So let's move on. Slide number 7 is where the work actually begins. So all the rest of the stuff, well, I take that back. You also had the vocab up there, right? But, we should totally, guys, I'm moving the vocab down. Okay, so that makes more sense. So we got the directions, then the video in case it doesn't work. Then we have the examples. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm moving it back. Just ignore me because then it's not going to be slide 6 anymore. The thing isn't. So anyway, just ignore what I just said. Okay. So you have, let's start again. So you have your I can statement, then the directions, then the vocabulary words just to knock them out of the park. And then we have the video in case it doesn't work. And then we have this here, the say, mean, matter. And then this gets into the second part, okay, of your assignment. So sorry about that before if I confused you. So the vocabulary is on slide 4. This is slide 7, okay? So anyway, you see the different quotes. Like I said, you would see. When you play this, it should only play up to 335. If it goes over for some reason, just stop it, okay? But it shouldn't. I have set it up where it should stop. So when you hear these quotes, read them beforehand, okay? Read them a few times, try and get them in your brain. When you hear something that you either think sounds important, you might want to pause it and see if it's listed here. Or if you can get these in your brain enough, when you hear them over here, come back and highlight them, okay? And you'll see here in the directions, listen to this first portion of the video and then fill in the color of the quotes that you hear. So you can highlight it, or you can fill in the color. There we go. So it's like this little paint can up here. If you hover on it, it says fill color. When you press on it, then you can pick a color and then it'll change the color here. Okay. So if I do this, all of a sudden it's yellow. That's what I would do. I think that's easier than highlighting. Anyway, so after this ends, make sure you have 7 quotes. If you missed one, you might want to listen again. And then you can come down here and write your objective summary based solely on fact, okay? So then when you have that done, when you've highlighted the quotes and wrote your little summary for this portion of the video, then hop down to the next slide. And here's your chart. And I said in here, refer to the examples on slide 6. So I reminded you about that. And you're going to pick 2 quotes from part 1. So you put the quote here, the picture here, and then your analyzation here. Put your quote here, picture here, and your analyzation here. Okay? And you just click on it to get the box going. And there might be a little bit of a lag like you see when you click on it. So wait until your cursor's flashing. Okay? So anyway, then here's part 2 on the next slide. Same thing with the chart after you do all that stuff. And it didn't show up because I went too fast, but here's an objective summary. And then one more for you here. Part 3. With that, okay, with another chart. Last but not least, Here are the 3 sections of the video. Oh, I'm sorry. Consider all 3 sections of the video and figure out what the central idea is of this informative text. And I know it's a video, but we are still calling it an informational or informative text. And I've been calling it informative. I pulled this from what someone else typed. So it says informational. But like we have discussed yesterday, informative and informational means the same thing. Okay. It's all giving you information based on fact. So, anyway, when you figure out which one you think it is, click on the box. Click on the box. Okay. And then you can highlight whatever you think's the answer. Okay. And then down here, you need to explain your reasoning. So analyze it. Why do you think this or this or this or this? Why do you think it's the central idea? If your explanation is running over the box because you're talking a lot, just make the font a little bit smaller to fit in the box. If it goes over, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So anyway, again, you have your vocab here on slide 4. And then when you hop down to slide 7 to 13, that's the rest of them. Okay. So, but that's it. I think we're good. And maybe, I think I'll go ahead and I'm going to add what pages these are on, okay? So you don't forget about the vocab words. But, so here we go, page or slide. But anyway, slide 4. There we go. So that's it. Word to the wise. We do not have school Monday. It's Labor Day. So that means you have, if you do your work today, and get it done today, you will have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as a break to not have to do any English work. Yay! Now, with that said, if you have not done your work from this past week, that is imperative you do. I need that exit slip as soon as possible. I have to have it for data, so you need to finish it. It's like way late at this point, okay? So if you're still working on the vignette stuff, nobody asked me for help today. So that means that you all should be good to go and that I should get everyone's assignment by tomorrow. So I need to be able to look through this stuff to see what you know and what I need to reteach and all that good stuff. I need to make sure you get it. Okay, so you got to give me your stuff by Friday. You've had a whole bunch of time. If you decided, you know what, I should have asked Miss Chapman for help, that is fine. You let me know and I will be there for you. Okay, but you got to speak up and let me know or I don't know what's up. Okay, but you got to get this stuff in. If you are like majorly behind and you didn't do anything from last week either, work on this week first because it's content. Okay, this stuff is most important. When you get all this stuff done from this week, then go back and do the roles assignment and the my about me slides. Okay, but that should be like the last thing that you do. Get all this stuff done first. Okay. So anyway, I am putting in here, I made a mistake here. So that's it. Okay, so I'm going to end. I'm going to finish putting the slide numbers in here. And then that's it. So let me know if you have any questions, okay? And I will help you the best I can. But anyway, have a good day. Have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you later.